Hello. Good morning, family. Good morning. Um, I was on earlier, but my cats started to get a little out of hand, so I had to take a pause for the pause. A pause for the pause. Y'all gonna see that a lot because I got pets. I got two dogs and two cats, a boy and a girl. Okay. And they take care of their mommy. They help me live. Um, so I keep my pets. And I help them live too. All right, I got my juice. This is beets, carrot juice. It got some parsley in it, kale, cucumber, celery, pineapple, orange juice. This is a whole lot going on. Um, I'll add that to the link the next time you come on to see. I will start putting my recipes and in the link below so that you can start your own juicing regimen. I started juicing about 4 years ago when I had cancer and I had a stroke and a heart attack about 4 years ago. But let me think back. 6 years ago is when I had my heart attack and my cancer. So from there, my health had declined, deteriorated. Um, I went through that no eating meat. I couldn't all the way. I don't think I came a full vegan, but because I still ate shrimp, I still ate eggs, I still, certain food I still ate. So it's just that I cut out the beef and the pork. Of course, I'm with the Nation of Islam. All praise to the Most High. So, the pork off the list, but I'm gonna be honest. Everybody know it's a little bit of pork in everything you eat unless you grow your own food. Okay. You raise your own livestock. Okay. So we're not gonna dig all in through there. I came back on because I've been promising y'all that I'm gonna get my stuff together so that I can give y'all some information. I want to touch on some bases. Let me see if I got my notes. I got my notes. I got the cheat sheet here, and I'm cheating today because I can't go off the top of my head because I keep on uh, getting off topic because that come from having a stroke. Let me just down my beats, and I'm gonna be right with you one second. Ah, there's Cherish. She's at the front door. I guess she ready to come back in. Take a pause for the pause. Let these kitties in. And then I'll be right back with y'all. I'm hooking up my little music right here. We're going to have a little music this morning. Oh, she walked away. She's going to the window. Come on, Cherry. Where's Porch? All right, you come on in here and relax. I know you're tired of him chasing you around every day. Thank y'all. Thank you. And thank you for my viewers that are tuning in. I like to say, thank you. I appreciate you all so much. Excuse me for all the turbulence that's going on all my lives. I just took a stab in the dark and said I'm finna jump in there and do it. I see so much going on to the point that I ain't trying to knock nobody else hustle. Stop, Cherish. You cannot get up here. No, you cannot visit right now. Come on now. Here she go with her stuff. She hear this rattling. I guess she thinks it's her treats. There's no treats, okay? It's mommy paperwork. That's so pretty. When I go on Facebook, shout out. I do love Facebook. I ain't gonna even lie. So when I go on other social media platforms, it's a lot going on. I see a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business, a lot of vlogging, life experiences. People are sharing and sharing and sharing and sharing. And in between the time of the sharing and the sharing, I don't see a lot of caring. I do see some caring, but a lot of the caring I see is going towards a lot of the, uh, people like myself who have like illnesses, people raising GoFundMe's and all that stuff. Now, I did create a GoFundMe when I was sick, and nobody tapped in because I think somebody went around and told everybody in my family that, oh, she ain't sick, she faking, like they always have done. But I got medical documentation. Okay. Um, and nobody helped. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I want to be able to reach out to people who really, 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 really need to hear what I'm saying. Um, it's people out here who are thrown away, and y'all hear me say that a lot. When I was growing up, I identified myself with the Garbage Pail Kids. I know y'all remember that little cartoon. Some people probably didn't watch it. Okay, I like the Garbage Pail Kids, and they was the stuff. They need to bring them back because I identified with them. As much as I watched the Garbage Pail Kids, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I wasn't even paying attention to what they was talking about on their little cartoon. I was just looking at the Garbage Pail Kids and looking at their garbage cans, and each one of them had their own identity and something about them that made them different and unique. And after a while of watching Garbage Pail Kids for so long, I identified with the Garbage Pail Kids. I was like, oh, I'm one of them. You know, some people had Ultraman, Wolverine, Bruce Lee. Some people had that. I had Garbage Pail Kids. I'm gonna be flat out. Garbage Pail Kids. Who else? The Rugrats, which they made a big comeback. I identified with those cartoons and kids, those type of kids. So I always call myself a garbage pail kid because I had a lot of stuff dumped into me as a kid. And it's kind of like when you're a kid, you got all this influence over you. And you be like, okay, you don't realize that these people are influencing you because you are a kid, a baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like once you get older and you ain't for the influence no more, and they done showed you how to do all the messed up stuff, then they don't want you around. You know, once it ain't just inside the house that they done taught you how to hit licks and do all this stuff, and once they want to calm down, then you out there left to dry. Like, go on now. I done got my life together. Get yours. Get yours. So it's people out here who probably like, okay, I don't know how to do that because you interrupted me when I was on my way to get my life together and you influenced me to do something else. Even though against a better judgment, but there's some people out who are very um gullible because they suffer from a lot of traumatic trauma, that mental abuse. And that's how they end up in prison, in jail, incarcerated, behind bars, L7, locked down, 20, all that, three hots. Y'all can say it all. And we know how they end up there. So that's what my platform is. It's for those people who end up. So if you know somebody who life has taken a turn, even at the age 18, because I got my platform is, it might have to be restricted because I do cuss. And I really don't want nobody stumbling on my stuff if they just happen to stumble on there, and then I be cussing and talking about stuff, and they mama hear me and they be like, and she just, I don't want no strikes. Okay. That's why I already got it in my description. I don't own no rights to none of this music. Um, because some days I will have a little tune in the background because that's for me. That's for me. So I done got myself a little halfway together. Um, I got up today with my eyes black from my stroke. So I definitely had to. I wanted to try to come on without putting on the pressed powder today because I try to be raw, and keep it real and just be me. That's why I be like, let me just icky. I almost messed my little part up. It can be so simple. I think I turned these off. Nope, they still on. I thought I turned them off. It could be so simple. Um, I might have a story for y'all today. I'm gonna sit here and think about what story I might tell. Some stories is gonna be funny. Some stories gonna make you cry. Some stories gonna make you mad. Okay, because I got a lot of them, a lot of stories. I like to think back on when I was a little girl and I used to come out sad, and I used to try to have friends, but they used to be like, "No, you can't come over here." Like they parents. No, I went this one girl. I wasn't really like down with the girl. We had like parents that knew each other since they was born. I remember when my mama was pregnant with their sisters and brothers and all that stuff. So we we've been knowing each other since birth. So now my mom and dad split up when I was like 3 or 4. So um I wouldn't see the people on my street during the week because I would be at my mom's house or, holidays, stuff like that. So, they had all this joint custody and visitation and all that. So when I did see the girl, I didn't never see her say I maybe go like a month or two. So this particular time I'm like, let's come outside. She used to be cool back when we was younger, like 8, 9, and 10. So when I got like 12 and 13, well, we wasn't really that cool, but they stayed down the street. So I used to be like her mom be like, no, you go back down there. You one of them bad kids, you bad. And I just looked at that lady. I think I cussed at her. I said something to her. But I liked her. But I let my emotions get the best of me and I cussed her out. Because as a kid, to me, I don't know. It was just me. If you said I was bad, I was gonna show you bad, and that's just how I was. And I think that's how a lot of kids are. If you just keep on labeling them, you're gonna be bad. You're gonna be bad. You're gonna be bad. You bad. You bad. You bad. You know, I always got that from like my community. So when I was growing up in the 70s, our street was still mixed, black, white. If y'all see me looking up and over, y'all know I'm looking. I got this window open. This gonna tell me how many people watching. This gonna tell me this. Then I see over here comments over there, and I got another stuff up there. So I do apologize. Y'all probably keep wondering like she all over the place. But anywho, telling y'all about our neighborhood. When I was growing up, it was pretty diverse. We still had a mixture of people on our street. So the white people on my street didn't have no problem with me. You know, it was just the black people. Um, the black people used to be like, "You bad, you bad." Um, they'd say little stuff like, "Y'all them kids from the east side." Because when my mom and dad split up, my mom moved to the east side, and everybody, they had that split in Detroit, like east side, west side, which they kind of do. Houston, north side, south side. It's still the same everywhere you go. They got sides. Back in the day, it was like, oh, you couldn't come on my street, all that. Y'all remember back in them days, but that's part of some more stories. So, um, I did have situations with the black people on my street. So the lady who was telling me that was bad, you need to go on back down there. I was just kind of like went off on her because I was like, "Your kid's bad," because her kids would come outside and just they had some mouths. They had these little mouths. You could see they wasn't allowed to come outside any other time. So when they did come outside, and they didn't like us, like me, like that, because um I guess I was bad. I don't know. And my daddy, he had a history on our street too. He had to beat up their daddy and whoop their son or something out there with his belt, whooping other people's kids. Cause my daddy didn't care. He was, special. So that's where I get it from. Both of them, as they say, don't fall, fruit don't fall too far from the tree. So if y'all calling me names, I got my names from me. So I was a kid and I started getting in trouble at an early age. I'm trying to remember. First time I ever really got in trouble. I had stressed in. I felt so much stress. Um I was kind of like, what did I do? It was around 4th of July. I don't know, it was summertime. And this ain't probably the first bad thing I did, but to me it was kind of major. Me and some of my friends were sitting on the porch and they was lighting smoke bombs. And we would go like to the corner store and buy smoke bombs. And we'll just throw them out in the grass and let them smoke. Well, I think I was like, oh, I think I probably was like 11. 11. I was 12. I probably was older than that. I was like 12, 13. So we playing with smoke bombs. And back in the day that the people used to be sitting on their porches, just enjoying the day and people watching the other kids. Because the old people used to do that back in the day. They would come out and sit on their porch and watch the kids play because that was a outlet for them. When you saw the old people sitting on the porch, it's because they was reminiscing. That was their life, to see the babies playing on their big wheels, flying up and down the street, watching them grow up and starting to walk and then learning how to ride and then playing in the sprinklers. That was life for the old people. That's why they lived so long and was able to take care of their grandkids and great grands because the children was given the elders life and they still do. That's why you see a lot of older parents, they older I mean grandparents, sorry, excuse me, gravitating to the grandkids a lot because that's their lifeline, their bloodline. And that like that's them born again. That gave them another 10 years. Why it might take 10 off of your life having them kids. Your mom and your parent will have more life in them because you're having children. Okay. It's just by design. You ever see these that's why they used to have those big families of 12 and 13 and 14 kids. Because they knew once they kids started having kids, that was going to reflect and give them more life and keep them living. And because it brings joy to watch your offspring give life. My daughter is 13. I'm gonna be glad when my daughter have her own child, her own children. I'm not saying right now, but when the time comes. But yeah, I'm out there playing and we lighting smoke bombs. So we throwing it on the grass. So then I decide to throw smoke bombs in the bushes where the old people were sitting. And I threw the smoke bomb at one of the people on the block. And it went off and they just, we laughed as kids and ran back down the street. So I started doing it, just walking past people, I just doing something. But I know the neighbors know me. They seen me coming. They probably like, here come Trish. Here she comes. She up. She outside today. Because I used to get up and go straight outside. That was what we had to do back in the 80s, 70s. Because I was raised through the 70s and the 80s. And when you got up in the morning, you got up, you got dressed, you did what you had to do around the house, and you took your ass outside. Because you wasn't going to be in there fucking up no more shit. And if you came back in, you might got your ass whooped again. Don't come back in here. That's what it was. If you come back in here, I'm going to beat your ass. Then they started locking the door on your ass. You was locked the fuck out. I'd have been locked out so many times. Yep, that's another lie too. Okay. I'm getting in the mood for some music, family. So please bear with me. I am going to switch up today. I know it's Sunday. So I might be doing a little bit of gospel. How about that? We're gonna get that going. I'm gonna put on a little gospel. But it ain't gonna be nothing that y'all, you know what I'm saying. Don't worry. Don't y'all worry. I got y'all. It's not gonna be where you're gonna be like, oh, crying and all that. Because I used to cry when I listened to my gospel, especially when I found the Most High and he saved my life. And he gave me a second chance. Um, I'm gonna be like a fifth chance. I'm gonna be honest. He gave me a fifth chance, a sixth chance, a seventh chance. So there it is. And when I found him, I've been kind of like living my best life. You hear people be like, oh, I'm living my best life. They traveling, going everywhere, all over the place, living their best life. I was doing all that in my 20s. Now I got a daughter. I tried to have her travel with me, but that didn't work. People was always calling CPS on me and stuff. So I was like, well, let's sit down. But now that we doing online schooling, I can move around all over the world if I want to. See how the Most High work. I pray for the day that I could school her online. Because they was charging people that. Sometimes people get paid for doing having their kids learn online. They give you a little money to make it for supplies and stuff. With all these restrictions, talking about you had to have so much education to do homeschooling. What happened? Because it's a bunch of dumb motherfuckers out here who kids is teaching them at home now. They like scoot over. I didn't get a chance to learn nothing in school. So let me learn with you. That's basically how I was. I learned stuff in school. I learned enough to get by. But now they got some new math, stuff like that. My daughter had a project she was working on. And I saw her, she was reading this book. And she just said she got so into this book. She said, Mama, I like this book. I like this book. And she was telling me about the story. In the book. I'm getting off path. I'm gonna get back to the smoke bomb story. As long as y'all keep me on track. I wrote it down. So we're gonna go before I close out. I'm gonna do the smoke bomb story. Okay. I'm still waiting on this stuff to load so I can give us a little music. So we can have a little music to play. But anyway. She was like, I love the story, love this book, Ma. The teacher gave it to them to have as do a essay and project, whatever. Back in the day they did that stuff. Book report. Been so long. I'm just so tired of school. I feel like I'm back in school with this girl because I gotta stay on top of her. They keep with this online stuff. She be jumping off all that roadblocks. I be catching her. She be sleep. I be like, hey, I'm trying to work. I can't watch you. I'm trying to work. You need to get it together. Okay. I forgot I did make some changes yesterday. So here it is. This is what I'm doing for everybody. I'm gonna put this music on. I found me a decent little playlist. Oh, Brandy waking up. She getting up. She getting up. I found a little playlist. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on and get back to the story. So anyway, so she's telling me about the story in the book, because me and my daughter, we talk about everything. We talk a lot, and from what she was describing in the story of the book about, oh, the barn caught on fire, and they was trying to get away, and she said he got his back burned and this and that. He got burnt. And I said, Pony Boy. And she was like, yeah, I ain't know, Mom. I said, you reading Lost Boys? She was like, yeah. I said, that's my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies. Lost Boys. I'm an old schooler between 16 Candles, Lost Boys around that area, but I think Lost Boys came before 16 Candles. I'm gonna have to go on and Google it, but if y'all know, let me know who came first. But anywho, and I was just so excited that she was reading this book that I told her about the movie, which I probably shouldn't have did because the teacher didn't want them to be doing that. Because they was going along on Zoom with the teacher, and the teacher was reading the book aloud. But Darian had already got ahead like 10 chapters and was gone, had done read the book. And when she get into a book, she read to the end and then she opened up and read it again, because I've been having my daughter reading since she was like 2. Read. She got a collection of books that's just out this world. We live at the library. Do you hear me? So I got excited too with her. I was like, oh, we finna watch the movie. So we went on Netflix. We looked for Lost Boys. We couldn't find it. We went on YouTube, everywhere. We found it though, and we watched it. But here's the thing. I didn't watch it with her. I let her watch it by herself. Because usually she'd be like, Ma, come on, we gonna watch this movie together. Now, when we watch scary movies together, she don't want to turn those on unless I'm with her in the room. But she getting older, 13. I just started letting her watch scary movies this year. So it's kind of new for her. Some scary movies she have seen, but that was a long time ago. I need my glasses because I'm trying to read something. I'm trying to check this out. Okay, Lost Boys was her book report. She busted A out on that. I know she did. I don't even have to ask because I know what she do. All right, we like 27 minutes in. If you know anybody who is transitioning into the world from prison, you remember seeing the movie Life. That's one of my favorites too. I always think about the time when they I think it was Martin, they let him out to go drive the man to go pick up the man who ended up getting them locked up in prison, pick him up from the train station, a bus station. And he came out, he seen them people walking around and black folks moving around, and he was like, hold up. So y'all free now. And we still in jail for stuff we didn't do. So it just takes you back down and through there. So I always think about people who've been incarcerated. I had an uncle who was in and out of prison ever since I was born. And from what I was told, he had been in and out of jail since he was 12 and all that stuff. And one time he did an armed robbery and he went away. I think he did like 10, 15 years. And we used to talk to him on the phone and write letters. One of my favorite uncles on my mama's side, because my daddy got 10 uncles. And altogether, I got like 15 uncles. And I'm sorry, my dad has 10 brothers. Or 9, something like that. Anyway, they was wild. Southwest. Shame. But they lived it down. Turned out to be decent people in society. But when I was growing up, they talked so bad about my uncle that made me love him more. And the same thing goes for the people in my family. They talk so bad about me, it made your children love me more. Did you know that? That's what's going to happen. You should have known. That's why you don't talk bad about your children's father in front of them or to them, because that's going to make them love them more. My mom used to do that all the time. Get mad, want to cuss and fuss and talk about my daddy to us and this and this and that and that. It made me want him more. She probably didn't know that because I wasn't brave enough to tell her. Because I used to want to go live with my daddy, but he had a lot of rules. And my mom's house was the fun house. It was like free for all. You could do whatever you wanted to do. Just play. I'm still having a problem with my channel, y'all. We're going to give it a minute. This music ain't started yet, but we're going to let it work itself out, because I think the other day when we was doing this, it gave us a hard time too. So I'm going to tell y'all the rest of this about this smoke bomb story. So I threw the smoke bomb in the bush, right? So the bush had all these leaves and old sales papers and everything in it. And we sat there, we watched the smoke coming out. The smoke was blooming. It was like, it was cute. That's my daughter word. It was cute. So, next thing I know, I seen it say, I seen the fire. So I started like running to go get the hose. I think the lady went to got the hose. But I was like, oh my goodness, the bush was on fire. The burning bush. Yes, it was a burning bush. The fire department came and everything. And my dad came walking down the street, said, get your ass down there. It was like he already knew I did it, because I was the only one. Every time I went outside every day, I did something to get in trouble. He knew I was a firebug. But this fire, I did not set. I'm sorry. I don't know. I wasn't supposed to say that, was I? I set fires inside my house. So y'all, please. I didn't set none outside. I tried to set one fire outside one time. I think I was like 4 or 5. I was on the side of the house. I had found some matches. Woo! I love matches. Woo! Especially them blue ones. You just strike it on the ground. I was living my best life with the matches. So anyway, I found a pack of matches. So I wanted to go on the side of the house and light these matches. My neighbor saw me and was like, "What are you doing? I'm gonna tell your mom." Nah, 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 nah. So I stopped playing with matches. I stopped trying to set fires once I realized I was gonna get in trouble if I got caught. So I stopped setting fires, but I did play with fire all the time on the inside of the house. We had a fireplace, and I would just burn paper. My mom used to collect newspapers all the time when we was growing up. I mean, stack them. I'm from the 70s. Like I said, people used to collect newspapers, the Jet, Ebony's. They kept that stuff all the time. So I used to just feel an urge for fire. I started off on the stove. And one day I think I set a fire on the stove, and I think I almost set the house on fire. So I just decided, like, let me stop playing. We got a whole furnace. I mean, a whole fireplace. Sorry, there that go. It's coming. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. We ain't gonna claim that no more. We getting better. And went on ahead and started using the fireplace. So the fireplace was where I went to burn, and that was my joy. That was my pleasure. So it would be times I'd be home by myself and I would just burn paper, because it helped me. It was like satisfying. I used to just sit and stare at the colors of the fire and how it flickered, and it was calming. Yeah, pyro. That was me. That was me. So I told y'all the smoke bomb story. Thank you for listening to our story. I'm finna tell y'all a little bit more about my channel and what I'm gonna be bringing y'all. And to tell y'all these stories, I tell y'all because I was always labeled a bad little girl, like I said, and that was only by my community. Whenever I went over to the white people house, they loved me to death, and don't say nothing like, oh, because it was a fear, because I had never experienced racism until I was 33, maybe 34. I mean, I done had people be like, go back where you coming from. But and nobody never ever called me a black bitch. Never. I never had that. Maybe my mama or a dude that was mad at me, but nobody never called me that. I never experienced racism until I moved to Texas. Oh no, when I moved to Colorado, I did have an experience back then. That was like when I was 18. But see, I was so green, I didn't even know they was being racist. I didn't even know. I just thought they was securing their neighborhood. That's what cops do. They fuck with you. I thought they just was like, but I didn't look like a threat, a little itty bitty girl or whatever. You know, and then back then they put me in their car and be like, where you want to go, and take me. I never feared to come up missing or nothing like that. This stuff is beyond me. What's going on right now? The devil is a lie. It's disturbing. And it took me till I was about maybe four, now before I was 40. I think it was probably about like 2003, maybe 2004. And to really understand it ain't just in the books. It ain't just on in school, on TV. It ain't, this stuff is real when it came to that. Because some of my best friends that was white, one of my friends, her dad was like one of the head dragons of the KKK. And see, growing up around people like that and having different white people already in your family, what do you do? What can you do? You listen. You learn. Okay? You learn. That's all I could do was research them. That's why I said, get to know these people. Because I know I've been hearing about them in school and all that stuff, but I had never experienced it. But the people that was a different race in our neighborhoods, they got along with us better. And my daddy used to always tell me, don't bring no black man to my house. That's how my brother ended up dating a white girl, and then my other brother, he had to find his girl at church. Because the thing about it was, when we was little, my dad used to always be like, you not black, don't. He didn't even really want me playing with the black kids. My mom didn't really either, because she was like, they on welfare, they on food stamps, and because she worked for the state, the company that passed out the food stamps and all that. You know, when you that close proximity to people, like say you walking out the door to go to your job, and then the girl come down the street, come to your job applying for food stamps. It's uncomfortable, and you don't really. Back then, she was not with that shit. Don't play with them. But I used to be sneaking. I'd be like, go down there. They did. They had a lot of food stamps. They did. But they was always at the store with them stamps too. They was at the store with them stamps. Okay. Now, we're gonna be talking about people getting let out of jail, out of prison. I did give some information on bonding. We're gonna be discussing things like background checks. As I said, I do not like to discuss politics here. I really don't like that. If you want to throw in a hallelujah, but I don't discuss religion. I'm not going to quote no scriptures. I've never read the Bible. My father was a so-called atheist when I was growing up, and we didn't go to church. My brother did. He got put out the house for going to church. Get out. Because he wasn't going to work on Sunday. What's wrong, baby? You ready to get out of there? You want to go to the bathroom? She is so jealous. Otis just had surgery. So Otis is allowed to stay out and lay on the floor. But Brandy has to sit in her cage because she keeps jumping on Otis. And Otis is not feeling that great. And I don't want him to lash out and bite her. So she got to stay in there for a minute. Calm down, boo boo. It's okay. It's okay. All right, Coco. Let me see if we can get some music on. Brandy. I have a few songs that I want to play, so I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and pull it out here and try this a little different. So please bear with me, everybody. Um, we got some stuff that I want to talk about. Getting out on parole. Once you get out, bonding to get a job. We're going to discuss Social Security because once you get out of prison, the first thing you should do is apply for Social Security. They will give you some money so that you can have some monthly income because they know you ain't going to be able to work. You might not get a whole lot. You can always go to the state and apply for food stamps. You know, you get medical, and they have different type of medical that you can get either through your county or through the state, which is like Medicaid and things, what they call in this Obamacare, because that's directly where they send you. Oh, this you okay? You got to use the bathroom? Yeah, he got to use the bathroom. Um, Also, when you do apply and you go in and apply for food stamps and all that, and you go in, you might not have ID because you've been locked up because it's something just that minor that a family member would not give somebody $25 to go get their ID and their social security card so they can get back on their feet. That's the first jump start that people need. And that's why I said it's so many people that want to see people down because if you don't want this person around you for real, you can actually pay them to go away. Yeah, that's real easy. I learned that from my dad too. You could buy people, you could pay them to stay, or you could pay them to go away. It's your choice. And there's so many ways you could do that. Either send them, give them a little something, send them on their way, help them, give them a hand up, give them a resource, lead them, point them in the right direction. That's all we ask. We ain't asking you hold their hand and take them, but sometimes some people need that because their parents didn't hold their hand and take them and show them how to fill out an application, how to open a checking account. And some people just scared. They just scared. That's why I'm doing this platform because it's people out here who need that push, who need somebody to say, you got this, you can do it. And then after so long, you seeing that ain't nobody that's around you gonna do nothing for you. They there for the party. They there for when you get your check. They there for when you about to roll up. They there for when you popping bottles or pouring up or you gonna fill they tank up or if y'all finna ride or hang out. They for the party. You know what I'm saying? But ooh, this is some funny stuff I'm seeing over here on Facebook. Y'all, please excuse me. I'm trying not to look over here, but I got too many windows open. So y'all, please bear with me. And we gonna get some music going for my family. Even though I'm gonna be signing off about 20 minutes, because y'all know I try not to stay in over an hour. But today might be an hour session, or it might run a little longer. We're going to be talking about some free training, all types of free training. I'm going to tell you about a little bit about a free training that I acquired. I didn't graduate. I got a GED. I did go to college after I got my GED. I went straight to college. I sure did. Business college. And I took accounting classes. I took psychology. And I've always worked in the library. I worked in the library ever since I was like 8 or 9. I was a service girl in my middle school. And being a service girl, whenever they had days where the kids couldn't go outside, They put the flag up. Green is go outside, red to stay in, yellow is you can go in or you can stay out. Either way. So whenever they had those red flag days, sounds so funny now to say it because now I refer that to something totally different. Ladies, y'all already know. Um, I would stay in the classroom with the kids that was maybe a class or two up under me, and I would watch those students until the teacher came back from lunch because even though it's raining, teachers still gotta go. I would work in the library, putting books back up, organizing books, typing. Um, they had to type on those index cards back then. I don't know how long ago y'all know back in the library you had to pull out those index cards and go through there and pull the card out and then yeah, I worked in the library. Um and that I loved it. And that's where I grew my love for books. And that's why I wanted to pass that on to my daughter. My dad gave me a love for books. He always had a big bookshelf. I'm sorry, I'm searching for the words in my head. So I do apologize if I can't find the words as quickly as possible. I did suffer from a stroke, so I have to search my database for these words. It's been a long time since I've been able to speak. One of my strokes did take um, my voice for a little while. So it takes a minute for all that to come back and get up and going and running like a well-oiled machine. Y'all see me sipping on I'm drinking spring water. I switched from purified to spring. Purified is fine, but I switch it up. I go from distilled to spring to purified. Spring distilled to purified. I switch it up every now and then because everything have a different purpose. Okay, so now I'm on spring, back on spring. hmm I did my veggie juice this morning, not juice this morning, but I mix vegetables with the fruit. So once I do my juice, I get up and I drink water afterwards. So that way, you know, I get fill up with a lot more juice and water. Okay. So the training that I was going to tell y'all about is you can always go to your local college website. If you do not have a GED and if you do not have a diploma, you can still take college classes, especially if you pay for them. And you might can get some grants, depends. But if you want to pay out of pocket, some of them are not as expensive. You can take, of course, your GED online. We know they got a lot of GED programs, but it's a lot of people that's getting out of jail that got their GED while they was in there. Some of them got full degrees. Some of them coming out doctors and lawyers. Okay, they are taking advantage of the system, and I'm gonna piggyback off of that with this student loan that they about to wipe out. Well, it's a lot going on with that system. I say institution, financial institution. Um, if they wipe out all of your past student loans, that means you can go back to school. Well, school will be at a higher rate. And also, if they wipe out all of those student loans, then you wouldn't have no reason not to go back to school. Just about every job would expect everyone to have a degree because now they're saying, oh, you get 2 years college for free at any community college. So now it's going to be like you're going to need that to work at McDonald's because y'all want these higher rate wages, higher rates. Y'all want $15 an hour. So that's going to give them different requirements for those jobs. Okay, Brandy. She's getting jealous because Otis came and sat right next to me. Yeah. So you always can get certification even if you don't have a GED. You could take the GED without taking all these classes. You could just go to your local Department of Education, and just search where you could take the GED testing. And so that way you could just go in, you pay for the test, you sit down, you take it the same day. That's what I did. And you could pass it the same day. You know what I'm saying? They're going to give you your results. They probably send them, in the mail, I think it was. But I took it the same day and I passed it the same day. But I broke it up into 2 days because a lot of the testing is kind of vigorous and long. So I ended up taking accounting when I was in high school and I was like 15 and I had VOTEC. So when you're, say like you 18, say like you just not getting out of the system and you've been to school, you done finished school, you graduated, you got a diploma, and there's some people out here who dropped out and ended up in night school like I did. I ended up in night school. And you find yourself in that position because you got to work in the morning and go to school at night, and that's where I was. I was not a regular kid. I wanted to be grown, so I was like, I can't go to school during the day. First of all, everybody there for something else, and I wasn't there for that. It was to be pregnant people walking around, fighting, drug dealing, and all this stuff. So I was like, I need to get out of there because it was getting to me because I was doing stuff I know I wasn't supposed to be doing, and I asked could I go to a different school, but I guess that was just a little too much to ask for. But that's neither here nor there. These are topics we're gonna be talking about. How I ended up becoming an accountant after having only a 6th grade education and passing a GED. I'm gonna tell y'all how I ended up becoming an engineer. Yes, that's where all my life took me. But before we go down and through there, I'm gonna be telling y'all stories of how my life took a turn before I even got into that. Okay. So I want y'all to please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can always email me. The things that I'm speaking about on my topics today, I will be putting into the links into my description below. So you can go ahead and do some research. And if you got any comments or feedback or anything you want to speak to me about, feel free. I'm an open book, and I don't judge. That being said, thank you for putting up with my mess. I will see you all next time. I love you and have a great week. Bye.